The Herd Line.
Well, I have a feeling Chris Broussard and I are going to disagree on everything today. I mean, you just might as well come on in, get ready, because you and I are just not going to agree on stuff. So listen, the NBA, we have a history in the NBA. Michael Jordan lost, and all of a sudden, after all these losses, you build up a medal, a body armor, and then he finally conquered the Pistons. And these great Detroit teams couldn't beat the Celtics, and LeBron couldn't beat the Celtics.
Right.
Generally, this league is a baby step league. And so I think there's a lot of people now, this narrative's building. Milwaukee's going to beat Golden State. And I just want to remind everybody, they were a team that last year could not win a road game in the Eastern Conference playoffs. And we think they're going to go because they're beating Toronto that doesn't have a dependable second score, and they're going to walk in and beat this dynasty. I'm watching Toronto-Milwaukee yesterday, Chris, and I'm like, these look like nice runner-up teams. That's what they look like to me.
To your point, you heard Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson both say Golden State is the prohibitive underdog against Milwaukee.
Oh, come on.
Right. I'm with you. Look, if Kevin Durant's healthy, I'm definitely picking Golden State without hesitation. I'd say 90-95% chance they win. If KD is not healthy, I'm still picking Golden State. It's a little closer. Look, Milwaukee's length, their depth, their shooting ability, their defensive ability, they present some matchup problems for Golden State. However, they're slow. So I think defensively they're going to have trouble chasing around the Warriors.
So do I.
Especially if they play the way they have been playing without KD.
And how much length can they have on the floor if the Warriors go small?
Exactly. And so that's a serious question. The experience, the lack of experience, on that stage is an issue. So I would go with Golden State. And look, in the East, they faced one-man shows. Detroit had Blake Griffin. Kawhi turned the Celtics into a one-man show. And now Toronto, you got Kawhi Leonard. They're not, what they're viewing offensively it's like addition and subtraction compared to calculus with what they'll face with Golden State.
Yeah, I think it's a different ballgame. How surprised are you just how effective they've been, Golden State? I mean, I got to be honest with you. They are, they're like a champion boxer. They kind of win the end of the round, the end of the quarter, the end of the game. They play decoy. They have not lost an ounce of their confidence.
I'm with you on what you just said about, because a lot of people are saying, well, Portland is winning these games and then they're falling apart at the end. No. Golden State is pacing itself. They know, look, stay close. Even when they're down 13, 17, just stay in there. And then when we need to, we'll turn it on and win the series. They have to kind of pace themselves a little more without Kevin Durant. As far as surprise, if you were to ask me how surprised I am how they're playing without KD, I'm not surprised. I mean, when he went out the first year, remember he missed like the last 20 games or something like that in the first year he was there, last 13 or something, and they went on just like this. At the end of the regular season, they did the same thing, and Steph, who had been really good, but not the old Steph when in KD's first year, he all of a sudden gets back to playing the old Steph way. So people are wondering, are they better without KD? The thing is this, they don't have to be better without KD. They just have to be better than everybody else without KD. If they're the best team in the world without KD, that diminishes his stature. Doesn't mean he's not a great player. Doesn't mean he's not the best player in the world, perhaps. But people already look at those two rings. I've talked to players in the league who said, look, there's nobody that denies how great KD is, how great of a player he is. But dudes do look at the rings like, you went to the best team in the league and got those rings. We've heard Clyde Frazier. We heard his own teammate, Draymond. We don't need you. Leave. We heard his general manager, Bob Myers, at the parade last year. KD hadn't been here as long as Steph and hadn't been here from the beginning. But here's the thing, Colin. All that KD was hearing, he could look back, tell himself, but hold up. I was the two-time finals MVP.
Right.
People saying I'm the best player in the world now. All my teammates are saying we need KD. He's our best player. You could rationalize to yourself in that internal debate. Nah, these critics don't know what they talking about. But now it's right in front of your face. You're watching with your own eyes. Oh my gosh. They do look better without me. Like, I mean, he's a smart basketball player. He sees the ball movement. He knows they're winning now by 10 points a game, whereas with him, they were winning by 4 points a game in the playoffs. And theoretically, he was playing in easier playoff games because it was the first and second round. They're in the later rounds winning by double digits without you. And so for KD, this has to be tough for him. He's a human being, so it has to be tough for him. And it's why he's got to leave, especially if they win it without him.
You know what I keep thinking about? Whenever I watch Golden State win, I keep thinking about Houston. Houston thinks they're this close, and they're sitting there and they're like, they're going to sweep Portland without KD, without Boogie. Iggy's not healthy. Like, you know how sometimes you think you're close in sports, and then we're right up next to Alabama, and we're right up next to the Patriots. And you know how many teams, the Houston Texans a couple years ago, man, we're just this close. Then they go up there and it's like, nah, like J.J. Watt is completely irrelevant against the Patriots because Brady gets rid of the ball so fast. Houston has to be watching this. And I love Daryl Morey, but they're shooting fewer threes.
Right.
They don't have their guys. I think it shows the dexterity, how nimble, how smart.
You know what they're showing, Colin, for everyone out there in the basketball world? That basketball is about more than an accumulation of talent. Okay, you need a certain degree of talent.
Right.
But if you've got talent, teamwork, chemistry, trust, finding the perfect system for your talent, your players, that's more important. Go back to 2014 when San Antonio blew out Miami by I think a record margin in the finals with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. I could argue Miami had more talent. Tim Duncan was a shell of himself. Manu and Tony Parker were at the end of their primes, if that. They may have been just out of their primes. And Kawhi Leonard was a baby. And they ran circles around Miami because they played team basketball. They passed the ball. They shared. Now, we're so used to ISO basketball that we've forgotten that, and Golden State shows us that again. Look at Team USA in 2004. Tim Duncan, Allen Iverson, LeBron, Wade, Carmelo, Richard Jefferson, Stephon Marbury, and they getting beaten by Puerto Rico and all these other teams in Europe because basketball is still a team game. And Golden State is showing everybody that.
All right, we got some stuff. Magic Johnson went on ESPN today and had some things to say. We'll address that with Chris Broussard coming up next. Did you know that nearly 60 million Americans, that's like one out of every 5 people, have been affected by identity theft? Actually, I've had it happen to me before. I'm not exactly sure why anybody would want to be me, but maybe it's the phone and the stuff like that. $14.5 billion stolen last year from identity theft victims. And cyber criminals now are using much more sophisticated tactics to steal your personal information off your devices. That's where LifeLock Identity Theft Protection has added the power of Norton Security to help protect against threats, primarily to your devices. There's a problem, they have agents that'll work to fix it. Now, they can't spot everything, can't solve everything, but they will definitely see and spot and fix things you cannot. Go to LifeLock.com and get 10% off the first year if you put in the code HER.